Hey there, it's Juju, and today is 83, and I'm going to talk about newspapers today, because a lot of times people aren't reading newspapers anymore. I live in Santa Cruz. This is Santa Cruz Sentinel, the local paper, and I find it so useful the reason I love the local paper is because I get the local news. I learn about volunteer opportunities. I learn about events. This morning when I was reading, I learned about new political things that are coming up and what is the debate on both sides. I love that I do love to do my little word games and my cipher. That there is that. I get the national news, I get the local news, volunteer, things that are happening, murders, the fact that they found a body down by the river. I haven't seen that in any of my social media. So you can read this online, but I don't like to read things online. I like to read books rather than reading online. And I'm old school all the way. So, I do love my local paper, and they don't deliver anymore. And I know, talking with other people, their local papers are no longer available. And so you're missing all of that local news. And I think that it's really important. And I do respect journalism for all of the talk about fake news. I think the nice thing I heard one time in analysis of a good reason to read print is because it's had time to be researched. It may not be, you get these breaking news, something terrible happens immediately, they're breaking news. And by the print, it may be old news, but it's probably going to be more accurate than what you get right as it's breaking, because everyone's trying to get the story. The numbers go up, it starts with, because they always, if it bleeds, it leads, they're going to tell you the negative stuff first. Now here comes a squeaky vehicle. So I love to read the newspaper. Where else do I get my news? I listen to podcasts. I usually listen to the New York Times headlines, the Daily. I love sometimes I'll listen to Ezra Klein. Sisters-in-Law, hashtag Sisters-in-Law, is a great podcast to learn all of the legal ramifications of what's happening. That's a podcast with 4 female lawyers, which is always really informative. And another place that I love to get my news is from All Sides. So All Sides is an app, and the beauty of it is you can check the bias of any of your news sources. I tend to read left-biased news sources, but that All Sides shows the headlines, and from the right, from the center, and from the left. And it's very interesting to just look at that, because so often we are operating in completely different media bubbles. So what you think is the world, it's not the world that I see. I see breaking things on my TikTok and on social media and from different sources than you do. So you've got, the big stories that you're going to be seeing are not going to be the big stories that I'm going to be seeing. So I love All Sides, because sometimes I just need to go there, see the headlines, see how each side is spinning it. And it's really helpful, because it's like, okay, if that was the headline, because so often people don't read the article, they're just reading the headlines. And so how that headline is spinned, what people on the right are, focusing on, what people on the left are focusing on, it's all very interesting. But I love to support my local paper. I have to go down to the gas station because they don't deliver anymore, which I understand. I'm up in the up in the mountains. And so it used to be I'd have to fight to try and get there early because they were running out of print copies so fast. But now they've gotten enough copies that I can get my newspaper. It doesn't matter if I read it today or tomorrow, I'm going to get my local news, because I think what's more important even than the national news is the local news. Know what's going on in your community. So when I talk to other people, it's like, well, do you know that this is going on? Do you know about this benefit that's happening? And people don't know. So I like to share all the information that I get from my local newspaper. So this is Juju, unedited, unscripted, definitely unfiltered. Look at that little light right there. and lead with love and have a great day.